When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we.
There you have it. So people, make we talk. Good afternoon or good evening to you all. We're listening, watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. This evening we're going to have a special edition of the Current Affair program. Our guest will be none other than Senator Damian Crawford. He's coming on this evening at 8 p.m. But we're starting the program a little bit early because there's some news breaking in our country, Jamaica. And believe you me, I hope you all can hear me clearly. Yes. And believe you me, it was a ruckus in the Parliament of Jamaica earlier on this afternoon. A big ruckus in the House of Parliament where the bill has been passed, where Portmore is now the 15th parish of Jamaica. And there was a big ruckus in the Parliament this afternoon with Desmond McKenzie, Fitz Jackson, and others, an opposition leader, make his presentation. We're going to go to what the opposition leader had to say in the Parliament this afternoon. We're going to do that and make you listen to what he had also to say in the Parliament.
Associations to have rights of order. Mr. Speaker, if this legislation becomes law, it will deprive the residents of Portmore of their important rights of democratic participation to directly elect their mayor, and for their citizens' associations to have rights of audience. on their city council. Those rights for which the people of Portmore had advocated and were granted by law are unique in Jamaica and represent the high point of democratic innovation in local governance. It is a deplorable travesty and an aberration for those democratic rights of the people of Portmore to be removed without their consent or approval by this government abusing its parliamentary majority. Mr. Speaker, the two current mayors of Portmore and St. Catherine were both duly elected in February last year, less than a year ago, in fact. One directly by the people in Portmore, and the other by the elected local representatives of the people in St. Catherine. They both hold office as an expression of the democratic will of the people. This bill will destroy the expressed will of the people. It will remove the mayor of Portmore, who was chosen democratically by the residents of Portmore, and it will also result in the much reduced parish of St. Catherine suddenly having a majority of JLP councillors so that they can remove the current elected mayor and install one of their own. That is the effect of this legislation.
You know,
Mr. Speaker, if this legislation becomes law, it will deprive the residents of Portmore of their important rights of democratic participation to directly elect their mayor and for their citizens' associations to have rights of audience on their city council. Those rights for which the people of Portmore had advocated and were granted by law are unique in Jamaica and represent the high point of democratic innovation in local governance. It is a deplorable travesty and an aberration for those democratic rights of the people of Portmore to be removed without their consent or approval by this government abusing its parliamentary majority. Mr. Speaker, the two current mayors of Portmore and St. Catherine were both duly elected in February last year, less than a year ago, in fact. One directly by the people in Portmore, and the other by the elected local representatives of the people in St. Catherine. They both hold office as an expression of the democratic will of the people. This bill will destroy the expressed will of the people. It will remove the mayor of Portmore, who was chosen democratically by the residents of Portmore, and it will also result in the much reduced parish of St. Catherine suddenly having a majority of JLP councillors so that they can remove the current elected mayor and install one of their own. That is the effect of this legislation.
wow. There you have it, opposition leader Mark Golding speaking in the parliament this afternoon pertaining to Portmore becoming a parish status. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to everyone who's in the chat room. Thank you all very much for coming on. At 8 o'clock, we're going to have Senator Damian Crawford, who will be our special guest tonight. Senator Crawford will be our special guest tonight to come on to speak to us. We're going to put this question to him also. What is his views on the idea of Portmore becoming the 15th parish? We're going to put that to him also. Based on all of this, we're also going to listen to what Fitzjackson had to say in the parliament this afternoon too, because Fitzjackson was in the parliament, and believe you me, Fitz didn't mince words in the parliament today. And we're going to listen to what Mr. Jackson had to say in the parliament this afternoon pertaining to Portmore becoming the 15th parish. So many things happened in the parliament today. It was a big ruckus in the parliament. It was a big ruckus in the parliament. It was a big ruckus in the parliament. And believe you me, I sit here and I listen to them keenly. And I said to myself, my God, the government is using the majority that they have in the parliament to push through this thing. The government is using the majority they have in the parliament to push through this thing, and they did. So as we speak now, Portmore is now the 15th parish of Jamaica. We want to listen to what Mr. Fitzjackson had to say in the parliament this afternoon. Let's go to Fitzjackson and listen to what Sir Fitzjackson said.
A bill.
Hold on to me.
Would have been, Mr. Speaker, this bill would have been most appropriately entitled the Gerrymandering of Political Boundaries Bill of 2025.
The Gerrymandering Bill of 2025. That's how Fitzjackson laid it out to the Parliament today. Let's listen to some more of what Mr. Jackson had to say. And then he was interrupted by the Minister of Local Government and Works, Desmond McKenzie. Listen to this.
This bill would have been most appropriately entitled the Gerrymandering of Political Boundaries Bill of 2025. A bill
if we can have, let us.
Mr. Speaker, nowhere in my presentation or nowhere written within the bill or in my remarks was the word gerrymandering. So I would ask the member not to rename, which is his intention, Mr. Speaker. Okay?
May I continue, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker,
Whilst members, whilst we are at the stage of debating, it is good and wise that we listen to each other when we are presenting. Continue. Turn your mic on.
and indeed, we must listen to ourselves too. And I repeat, Mr. Speaker, I said the bill as titled, in my opinion, and I believe in many, would be most appropriately named the Gerrymandering of Political Boundaries Bill of 2025.
Wow, that's a big name. The Gerrymandering of Political Boundaries of 2025. It was Fitzjackson in the Parliament this afternoon. Let's replay what Mr. Jackson had to say, and then Desmond McKenzie came and rebut him. Let's listen to what he's saying.
Mr. Speaker, this bill would have been most appropriately entitled the Gerrymandering of Political Boundaries Bill of 2025. A bill
If we can have, let us.
Mr. Speaker, nowhere in my presentation or nowhere written within the bill or in my remarks was the word gerrymandering. So I would ask the member not to rename, which is his intention, Mr. Speaker. Okay?
May I continue, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker?
Whilst members, whilst we are at the stage of debating, it is good and wise that we listen to each other when we are presenting. Continue. Turn your mic on.
And indeed, we must listen to ourselves too. And I repeat, Mr. Speaker, I said the bill as titled, in my opinion, and I believe in many, would be most appropriately named the Gerrymandering of Political Boundaries Bill of 2025. Mr. Speaker.
There you have it, as what Fitzjackson is saying is the gerrymandering. And why he used that word, is because when you have a government that has the majority in the Parliament of Jamaica push through the bill, it's saying what they're going to push through. They're going to push through this constitution reform and this republic, because they have the majority in the Parliament. Did they consult the people of Portmore when it comes on to parish status? And how can you give a place parish status when they don't even have a hospital of a fire station, and yet you decide to give them parish status? You see, when you have government who has majority in the Parliament, they believe that they can do all what they want to do and get away with it. Good night to you, Christopher. Good night to all those who are in the chat. Good night to my producer, Walking in Divine Purpose. I want to say good night to you all for coming on. So this evening now, the whole Parliament was in chaos. We want to listen to what the Minister of Local Government had to say in the Parliament. Because this evening, when you listen to them in the Parliament, they sound like a bunch of kids. But there was some serious business being done in the Parliament. Some serious business. And when you have a local government minister, or hold on for me. When you have a majority in the Parliament, and they believe that they have everything. So they went on and they decided to just pass the bill. Listen to what Desmond McKenzie said in the Parliament today. I want you to listen to what Mr. McKenzie said.
Part 3. Describe and define what will become the city of Portmore in respect to the city of Portmore will include lands east of north of Arscott, which includes Portmore Municipal Corporation, police stations, lands south of Brayton Parkway, which comprise Inland Revenue Department, commercial entities, part of Nagozed, lands north of Brayton Road, These are the course of important law enforcement and administrative entities that are essential to the management of the new parish of Portmore.
I got to repeat this again.
Part 3. Describe and define what will become the city of Portmore in respect to the city of Portmore will include lands east of north of Arscott, which includes Portmore Municipal Corporation, police stations, lands south of Brayton Parkway, which comprise Inland Revenue Department, commercial entities, part of Nagozed, lands north of Brayton Road. These are the course of important law enforcement and administrative entities that are essential to the management of the new parish of Portmore.
Now tell me something now.
Part 3.
Hold on for me.
Describe and define
Hold on.
what will be.
Now tell me something here. My question this afternoon, or tonight here this evening, to the government of Jamaica, how can you give Portmore parish status and city status, or whatever you want to call it? There is not a hospital in the area. The nearest hospital is either Spanish Town or Kingston. How many Jamaicans can afford to go to a private facility that's in Portmore? That's a question we need to ask the government tonight. And they do not see it fit to approach the people of this country. The people of Portmore, do you want your community to become a parish? They push it down the people's throat. And if you listen to the entire sitting of the House of Representatives this afternoon, the way they were going on inside there, one get up and talk to the people, they consult the people, and the people said yes. I'm going to see if I can find a clipping. It's the same way the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs keep on telling us that she has consulted every Jamaican through the length and breadth of Jamaica about this constitutional reform. And they keep on pushing things down people's throat. It is now 7:21. At 8 o'clock, we have our distinguished guest, Senator Damian Crawford, PNP Caretaker for Northwest St. Catherine. He will be my special guest this afternoon. But in the meantime, we're speaking. Also, Head Boy is going to come on anytime soon. We're waiting on Head Boy to come on. We're here speaking about Portmore becoming a city, a parish. They give Portmore parish when there is not even a hospital for the people of Portmore. Not a proper fire station for the people of Portmore. To see a private doctor in Portmore is $8,000, I was told. Huh? And you push this down the people's throat. Because you believe, I don't know why leaders of our country believe, that what they're doing is the best in the best interest of the people of this country, They don't consult the people about nothing. And because the opposition just have a little vote in the parliament, they vote them out. The opposition object against it. When they had a tally, when they had a vote in the parliament have more, the government have more say when it comes on to vote in the parliament. So they vote over the People's National Party, the opposition. And they pass it. Portmore is now the parish of Portmore, Jamaica's 15th parish. When you ask some people in Portmore this evening, they're going to tell you that, they are not for this. They are not for this. And it begs to ask the question about Fitzjackson have been saying all along. Is it that the Jamaica Labour Party is pushing all of this to get the majority? And the question we're going to ask this evening, the mayor for Portmore was elected by the people. Now they have a city status, a parish status. What's going to happen to the mayor? What's going to happen to the mayor? You're so right, Christopher. The Jamaica Labour Party have no respect for the Jamaican people. None whatsoever. They have no respect for the people of this country. No one they have respect for. And as we come on here this evening, Jamaicans from all walks of life is hearing that Portmore is now the 15th parish of Jamaica. And Portmore don't have nothing to offer the people. You have to pay to go into your parish. You have to pay to come out of your parish. Huh? You have to pay to go into the parish. You have to pay to come out of the parish. This is not a parish. This nation is going on a slippery path and a slippery slope. It's going on a path of no return. And we sit down in this country and accept everything that these people are doing. I said it on this platform many times, If they can't give the people what the people need when it comes on to a referendum, then I say to my fellow Jamaicans, it's best that you all, I want to show you something here. It's best that you all, when it comes on to them having a referendum pertaining to the Constitution, we must have a say in it. And I keep on saying that the people of Jamaica is full time. We elect a president of the people, for the people, and by the people. It is full time that we elect a president. It's full time that we, the Jamaican people, can say, yes, we elect that prime minister. We don't want no ceremonial head. I want you to listen to what Andrew Wheatley, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine's South Central, Dr. Andrew Wheatley had to say in the Parliament this afternoon. And Fitzjackson had to came down and said, no, you're lying. No, it wasn't him, Fitzjackson said you're lying. I want you to listen to what he's saying. I want you to listen to what Mr. Jackson was speaking, and now you had Dr. Andrew Wheatley, who is a Member of Parliament for St. Catherine's South Central. And he had this to say in the Parliament also. I want you all to listen to this. They push the parish status down the people's throat. Listen to what Andrew Wheatley had to say.
It's clear, Mr. Speaker. It is becoming clear that desperation is setting in. When you look at the member from St. Catherine South and those on that side, every time they disagree, they want to go to court. My question to the member through you, Mr. Speaker, on what grounds this time is he going to court? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the people of Portmore were consulted in 2020. This government, Mr. Speaker, has the balls, the courage to fulfill a commitment.
But the question that we must ask Dr. Andrew Wheatley, Was there a series of town hall meetings in Portmore? Huh? Was there a series of town hall meetings in Portmore for the people? For the people. For the people. Was there a series of town hall meetings where they sit down with the people and explain to the people, said X, Q, Y, Z? Was there a series of town hall meetings? You're saying the people of Portmore was consulted, Dr. Wheatley. Was there a series of town hall meetings? Was there only 2 to 3 town hall meetings? I don't understand these people. I don't understand these people. They keep on pushing things down the people's throat in this country. And we must accept it. We, the people, must accept whatever they give to us. Because them run things. Them are done. And them pay we don't pay them. Listen to some of what Dr. Wheatley had to say.
That started under the previous PNP administration. It started under a previous PNP administration. It started when they tabled the bill to establish Portmore as a municipality. Yes. We are brave enough to complete the process.
I want to play this 2 times for you. I want you to listen to this keenly. Listen.
It's clear, Mr. Speaker. It is becoming clear that desperation is setting in. When you look at the member from St. Catherine South and those on that side, every time they disagree, they want to go to court. My question to the member through you, Mr. Speaker, on what grounds this time is he going to court? Mr. Speaker, you know, Mr. Speaker, the people of Portmore were consulted in 2020. This government, Mr. Speaker, has the balls, the courage to fulfill a commitment that started under the previous PNP administration. It started under a previous PNP administration. It started when they tabled the bill to establish Portmore as a municipality. We are brave enough to complete the process.
We are brave enough to complete the process. Yes, you're brave enough to complete the process. But the question that we must ask you tonight, Dr. Wheatley, how many town hall meetings did you and Desmond McKenzie have? Or how many town hall meetings did you and the Prime Minister of this country have to explain to the people of Portmore how you go about doing this thing? And what make you jump to a decision? Portmore doesn't have, as I said before, a hospital. Portmore doesn't have a proper police station, 100-man police station. I remember it was there. Portmore is a very huge city. Can one police station run the entire parish of Portmore now? Do you have a proper hospital setting over there? There are so many questions tonight that the Jamaican people and the people of Portmore is asking. So many questions, but still no answers. And for you to come to the parliament of this country and you push things down the people's throat in this country. Because what? We, the Jamaican people, are absolutely nothing to you all. I would love to get my good friend Conor O'Brien's take on this. Like I said, if I can get him his take on this. I want to take a quick break and get through to Conor O'Brien. I want to take a quick break.
What is the dream for the election that I want to hear from you before me go?
Which election? Sister, me not depending. I time for everything now. Me not depending. When me get to election.
Look like...
Sister, me not get no election. All you hear me depend radio the chat. Me never get none from them.
So you don't get any dream?
Me not in election. I God me the seek no because guess what? People this a drop dead so me the repent.
I have with me this afternoon none other than my good friend Conor O'Brien from New South 93 FM. Conor, welcome to the program.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you doing, man? Good evening to you and your many listeners across the globe. I hope I find you well this Tuesday evening.
Yes, man. You find me well. I was bringing your program live this today when you were talking to Prophet Rowe and others. And I
lovely.
But Conrad,
lovely.
As we come on here,
as a matter of fact, I must tell you, Jeffrey, that interview has gotten quite a bit of review so far. Getting a lot of messages coming in on it and so on and so forth. So very, very interesting situation up there in Northeast Manchester. Yes. Extremely, and as I mentioned today, that there are a lot of barbs thrown from both camps, Omar Miller's camp and also Aldrin McCullough's camp as well. I know you come to engage me on a different thing, but I think it's important for us to just give your listeners and viewers a synopsis of what is taking place in the political scenario here in Jamaica. It is indeed election 2025, and the stakes very high, both internally, that is within party. Of course, the PNP has gone over the candidate selection. Their 63, it's done and dusted. And of course, you would hear the call from all quarters within the PNP. Call it, Andrew, call it. On the other hand, the governing Jamaica Labour Party seems to be in a tizzy. There is situation brewing up there in Northeast Manchester. There's also a big situation taking place with the Battle of the Williams in Central Clarendon. Former Kingston.
I was told that there's a member of the Jamaican diaspora, Dr. Clovis Nelson, is trying to get a seat in that constituency too.
Yes, no, not in Central Clarendon. That is in Northwestern Clarendon.
Okay.
That's a seat that is presently represented by outgoing MP Henriquez, where it is argued from all accounts that Richard should be taking back that seat. He's a former member of parliament there. But what I say to you, Jeffrey, on that, since you touched there, it's there's a young man there by the name of oh my God, his name just eluded me. He's a young Dunkley. Dunkley is that's a name from within the constituency. I think the young man father's name is Carlton Dunkley. He is a person who operates in the construction sector, right? I think he operates a lot of trucks and so on within the backside scenario. And as I said, he's a young lawyer. Also, there is the former JLP senator under Bruce Golden, the man that seems to be finding no favor at all with present Prime Minister Andrew Holness, because he had backed Audley Shaw in a big way, and it seems as if there is no forgiveness for him. So he has now re-emerged and offering himself there. But if I'm to hazard a guess, I think Clovis is out totally. I think it will come down to Newbie and the youngster there, Dunkley, But because of the connection, the closeness, as I understand it, with his father Carlton and the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party, i.e., Mr. and Mrs. Holness and so on, I believe that young Dunkley may very well get the nod, although in the scheme of things, Newbie is probably the better and more experienced candidate when all is said and done.
Let
So,
us segue.
so that's one there.
Yeah, let us segue into Portmore now. Portmore is now the 15th parish of Jamaica. It was passed in the parliament today. Your take on that? The Jamaica Labour Party, because they have majority, they outvote the People's National Party, and it's because the PNP said they won't take part in it. Your take on all of that? Because my take on this, doing a Conrad, did they truly consult the people of Portmore about this? There is no facility, there's no hospital, there's no fire station, there's nothing there. So how can you give it city parish status when the basic things it is not there? Your take on that, sir?
All right. First thing, Jeffrey. The bill has been passed by the lower house so far with a simple majority, and I think that would be enough for them to basically have their way. Right. However, it is not yet ratified and signed off by the Governor General. And of course, the People's National Party served notice that they will be challenging this in the court. So one would expect them to be, huddling, or they may have huddled before with their attorney and so on. I spoke to Fitz Jackson last week on my program. He told me that they would definitely be going to the court on this one, and he has also said it elsewhere. So you can expect some movements in the court on this. On the face of it, it seems as if the PNP has a very, very strong case, because the Jamaica Labour Party seems to have moved away from the convention that was signed off on about 45 years ago as to how parish boundaries and so on are determined, and they take it all onto themselves and went and I'm hearing myself coming back at me, Jeffrey. Can you do something about that? I don't know.
I don't know. Go ahead now. I'm trying to
yeah. All right. So that is what is brewing. Also, as you mentioned, Jeffrey, about the consultation, that is one of the things that has been lacking. As Fitz Jackson said again when I interviewed him, that listen, Portmore Municipal Corporation, and I can speak to that because at the time I was a citizen of I was a resident rather of Portmore, and far and wide consultation was done by what was called the Joint Portmore Citizens Association. That is to say, all the communities in Portmore came together and they basically have deliberation. At the time, former mayor, the late George Lee, he was the president of that association, and that is why he emerged as the first mayor of Portmore, because he became very, very popular through the widespread consultation. And what Fitz said, that listen, the PNP in principle, not saying that, listen, Portmore cannot become a parish. However, they're saying that it's supposed to be the call of the people, the consultation that took place when they were getting municipality status. That same consultation should carry through now. And if the people, in their wisdom, decide that, listen, they want to go for a parish, then by all means. It is also true, the things that you mentioned. When you look at all the other parishes, there are some basic things that are there for them to have parish status, i.e., public hospital, public morgue, public market, and so on and so forth. And not one of those things are there in Portmore. As a matter of fact, the people of Portmore, when named a parish, they will have to see those services in St. Catherine and elsewhere substantially, because there are none of those public amenities in Portmore. And I think, personally speaking, Jeffrey, I think what happened, the Jamaica Labour Party, through its majority, has basically eroded a lot of gains that Jamaica has made in terms of consultation and how the democratic process works. And it's a shame. We must guard against those things, because what we saw happen in Portmore, if that is allowed to stand, then it simply means that the Jamaica Labour Party could basically take the decision such as that in any part of the country in terms of basically change boundaries and so on and so forth unilaterally. And it is not good at all.
Because when you look at this, though, Conrad O'Brien, and for those who are just joining us, I'm speaking to Conrad O'Brien from News Talk 93 FM, the fireman himself. Wherever you are listening from around the world on the Eastern Caribbean, it's a Make We Talk program at 8 o'clock. We have none other than Senator Damian Crawford will be our special guest. But when you look at what the Jamaica Labour Party did today, Conrad O'Brien, it begs to ask the question, you know, in a sense, they can push for Andrew to become the president of the country then, when the whole referendum starts, with the constitution.
I think what happened, something like that. There are some checks and balances that will have to clear from the upper house, the upper chamber, the Senate. So that is one of the guardrail that you have. That one opposition Senate that will be needed to take, for example, a decision that you just mentioned there. So you need that 2/3 majority, both in the upper and lower houses of parliament. So what the Jamaica Labour Party, through its new thrust in terms of the constitution, is seeking to do is to strip away that 2/3 majority in the upper house, so they can just do whatever they want by way of simple majority, even to select who will be the titular head of government, that is to say the president of Jamaica, without any form of consultation with the opposition leader also. You just ram that down the throat of people. So some real backward step, Jeffrey. We are going backwards. We are eroding the democracy that our forefathers and mothers have fought for years. And I think what we saw happen here with this thing in Portmore, this changing of boundaries, etc., without widespread consultation, and the ECJ, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, being a part of the whole thing. I think both Michael Manley and, of course, the late Edward Seaga, both late, we are turning in their grave, because these are things that they opined on long and hard, and basically work through things so that we are able now to put it. It is something that even dovetail into our electoral process that is now seen as one of the envy across the world, and it seems as if we're about to erode it.
So Conrad, when you look at all of this, though, Sir Brian, Obi, do you think that the Jamaican people really want something like this? Is this country? I know other people Mr. Jeffrey don't say these things. Is Jamaica becoming a banana republic?
Well, certainly, Jeffrey, we are not seeing good governance being carried out in Jamaica, and that is why today, we're on a tizzy after the corruption index came out and show where Jamaica have slipped and so on, and there's no improvement. And it goes to the very heart of what you're asking: is Jamaica, or has Jamaica become a banana republic? I'm not prepared to quite go there, but certainly, Jeffrey, we are seeing a lot of the gains that we have made being eroded, and it is particularly egregious and frightening, because this is happening under the first post-independence Prime Minister, Andrew Michael Rodham Brogard Holness. It is sad, indeed.
Conrad, I know it's an election here in Jamaica, and where Jamaicans from all walks of life is glued to what is going on in Jamaica. Your take on it? When do you think the Prime Minister is going to call the election? And do you think that Jamaica right now, at this present state, should have fixed election date?
Well, let me start with your last question.
Yes.
The answer to that is a resounding yes from my vantage point. I believe that we need to take out this level of uncertainty and so on, and forget this whole business of speculation and the prime minister being seen as a little king, and basically having all of us around his little finger, and that is whoever the prime minister happens to be. I'm talking. We need to get rid of that. We need to have fixed election day, and I also, preferring a view that a part of the constitutional change should be that we have an executive president and the people of Jamaica vote directly for that president as well. I'm twinning all of that. As it relates to when the prime minister, Jeffrey, if you want me to just continue along or you want to chime in here,
go ahead, go ahead.
As it relates to when the prime minister will call the election, one thing for sure, it can't go beyond September. So, in essence, we have an idea that, listen, well, we know for sure that the election will call by September, certain there will be held, done and dusted by September. So, but no less a person than Minister of Health, Christopher Tufton, telegraphed at some meeting that the Prime Minister will be going to the poll in about July, or June rather. But when you look at the scenario, there are so many things that is happening around at certain point. We're also looking at the weather pattern, all sorts of things and so on. From all accounts, it seems as if the Jamaica Labour Party fortune is falling as well. And as some people are saying that the longer they take, then the more their fortune will diminish. Will the Prime Minister go as early as he can to basically salvage something, or will he hold on to say, listen, we have the Spark program on in the main, we had some other things, so we are going to put those things out. But as you hear from some people, Jeffrey, they are saying that, listen, even if the Prime Minister gives every single Jamaican a house, they are finished. Time come to use the PNP slogan. I'm not being political here, but I'm saying that's what the people are saying. That's what the people are saying. In the main, when you talk to them, if you look at the social media scenario, you will recognize where the ante is up there for the PNP more than the JLP, and it's certainly a flip that we are seeing, because previously it was the Jamaica Labour Party that was out there all over the place on the social media and ruling the rules. It seems as if the PNP is the preferred choice there. No, we are also seeing a lot of entertainers, Jamaican entertainer, while it was always there anecdotally that the entertainment community support the PNP in a big way. We are seeing a number of them prepared to come on the political platform and doing what you could almost call endorsement for the People's National Party. So all in all, it seems as if there are things happening within the People's National Party. However, as I like to argue, is that it's not over until the fat lady sing, and certainly the incumbent government led by Andrew Holness is not going to lay down and play dead. So there's still a lot of heavy lifting to do, but it seems as if the wind is certainly beneath the wings of the opposition PNP and Mark Jefferson Golden at this time.
Let me ask you this though. If Andrew should call election, well, Prime Minister Holness should call election tomorrow morning. How much seat do you think the PNP would pick up against the Jamaica Labour Party? As a man on the ground and so forth.
You're putting me in a territory there. But I must tell you that I've been doing some looking at some seat, and I think that there's a clear 35 seats that the PNP that I will pencil in now at this moment for the People's National Party. However, based on the last Dan Anderson poll, where the People's National Party showing a 10 percentage point lead, and that's a credible poll, the most credible poll that we have in Jamaica and indeed in the Caribbean. So if to go by that, if that 10% swing holds, then certainly we could say 2/3 2/3 majority of the parliament going into the People's National Party column, where we will have a lot of seats. We could see North, West, St. Anne coming back home. That is where Keith Walford is, where young Danisha is. All of those seats, of course, within the 35 that I just mentioned, I am penciling for sure northeastern Manchester, based on what is taking place there. It's a seat that I am in on a weekly basis, and the people seems to be rallying with Wallington Wint at this time. They believe that his time has come. He has been there with them. He lived among them. He offered himself 2 times with them, and they believe, especially the fact that the show is going. They are saying that, listen, Val time has come, and I am definitely penciling Northeast Manchester in, whether it is 32 for the PNP, 35 or 42. Northeast Manchester is certainly among, pardon me, the number that will form the PNP walking up Duke Street and occupying the governing side of Parliament, and by extension take over Jamaica House. That's my feeling. There's also, Jeffrey, some things that are brewing. I'm not prepared to call these seats, but for example, veteran politician and noted attorney at law KD Knight's daughter.
Yes, she was on my program a couple nights ago.
Stacey. Yes, Stacey is now is there, and certainly she's doing the heavy lifting, and it's not just a walk over or a shoo-in for the Justice Minister Delroy Chuck. All these things are at play. Another seat that not saying that Paul Buchanan will win this seat, but Paul Buchanan seems to be a real candidate that is doing some hard work there amongst the Prime Minister. So more than likely, the strategy is to have a strong candidate in a seat such as the Prime Minister's own to kind of pin him there, so you prevent him from basically being roaming to roam as he has a mind all across the country. So all of those things are happening, and that is why it is always good when you have your leader of your party in what is called a bedrock. A bedrock such as Mark Golden has there in St. Andrew. So it's interesting days ahead, Jeffrey.
Indeed, Conrad. We have some young persons. You have young Gabriella, you have young Danishta Williams, and you have young Christopher Henry. Yes,
Zalika Jess as well over there in St. Elizabeth, and a number of them are out there. A lot of you also have persons may not be very, very young, but relatively young people nonetheless. Same Stacey Knight there. You also have further down in St. Elizabeth, what's the young lady's name there again? Oh my God, she's a teacher there going up against Floyd Green. There's also another teacher by profession. She's going up in that seat down there in St. Elizabeth where J.C. Hutchinson gave up. So that will be the battle of teachers or of principal, because I gather the candidate there for the Jamaica Labour Party is a principal out of St. Elizabeth as well. And they are both homegrown persons as I understand it,
So Conrad.
And also Jeffrey, one of the point that must be noted in the previous election, the Jamaica Labour Party fielded quite a bit of female candidates, and what you're seeing now, the PNP have a high number of female candidates on their slate. I think it's way over 20 of their candidates are female. So all in all, a lot of females on the ticket. How that will play out, it's left to be seen. But certainly, very, very interested election year 2025.
So when you look on the younger set that is coming in, young Danishka, young Gabriella, and a young Christopher Henry and others, remember their name right now. Do you think your views on them, are they going to take home the seats election night?
Well, put it this way. In terms of the young cadre of candidate, I was saying because I think Zalika just is still in below mid 30s right now, so she's quite a young person. I believe that I will definitely already I have penciled in Northeast St. Elizabeth for Zalika Jess and the People's National Party. That will be coming home to the PNP, not just by way of the fact that it had been a PNP seat. They lost it in the last election, but certainly because of the heavy lifting, the work that I know she's doing on the ground. Gabriella is a candidate that I have a lot of time for. A lot of time for. She's in a seat that basically is somewhat of a kind of, some people describe it as a kind of weather vane, but it's a seat that favored the PNP more than the JLP. And certainly, Jeffrey, if we believe the swing that the poll is talking about, the number that the poll is talking about, I would have to pencil in young Gabriella in the equation there. As it relates to Danishka, I I am not prepared to call that one for the PNP at this time at all. I'm not ruling her out because she is indeed a very excited candidate and a girl that she is gaining some good traction underground. But in terms of the history of that particular seat, I am not prepared to call it just now. As a matter of fact, I must tell you this, that I am talking to some folks down there, and I'm expected to do an outside broadcast from the constituency. So I'm going to be doing some groundwork down there, and certainly when I do that, I will have more information, further and better analysis from the ground that I'll be able to feed to the Make We Talk program and indeed your wide audience, Jeffrey. Christopher, the young man, what's his name?
Christopher Henry.
He is in another very tough constituency. He's in a tough constituency. I know he's excited and so on and so forth, and anything can play, especially if you have that kind of disgust, the people turn out, you have a high turnout, and the tides move with the opposition. The swing carries, then you could find that a number seat could really go in the column of the People's National Party. So I'm not ruling, but I would not call the seat for young Henry at this time at all. No, he's going up. He's offering himself in that constituency that Carl Samuda is.
Yes, and that Carl is a veteran tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. A very tough one. And remember now that Carl has basically changed his mind. Yes. He's not going anywhere.
In other words,
so
there's some rupture going on within the belly of the Labour Party between Carl Seat and veteran politician Mike Henry Seat.
Yeah, yes, and what is good, Jeffrey? What is also good, as I said before, it is important that some of the seats you may not win. You may not win those seats. Well, what is good is for you to have strong candidates in those constituencies, so you prevent the roaming. For example, let's say in Clarendon, over the years, apart from when Jess ran the last time in 2020, and Mike had to really spend some time in the constituency, do even some house to house. Prior to that, Mike Henry was allowed to roam the entire Clarendon and even outside of Clarendon on election day. So when you look at that now, when you have strong candidates in there, you prevent that. My good friend Carla, who is the council for the Maypen West Division, with due respect, I don't think that she will be able to pin the candidate, whoever the candidate is for Central Clarendon at all. I think it's a missed opportunity for the PNP. I think they should have fielded somebody very, very strong, a kind of I don't really like to use the word high profile, but a very, very strong candidate. I'm not very confident that Carla is the choice. However, she has my blessing as every one of the candidates, both on the Jamaica Labour Party side and the People's National Party side. And indeed, if they're independent candidates, all of them have my blessing. I'm hoping and praying for a free and fair election, and may the best person win in their various constituencies, or the person who is deserving of winning. And the people of Jamaica are not stupid. I remember, like yesterday, Jeffrey, going into the 2011-2012 election, where Portia Simpson Miller got a 42-21 over the Jamaica Labour Party. No less a person than Darrell Vaz, who was the
campaign manager,
the Jamaica Labour Party treasurer.
Okay.
Treasurer. He said at the time that the Jamaica Labour Party has never been more cash rich going into election. Going into election. You know, that's how confident that he was. They had a massive meeting in the parish of my birth in Mandeville Square. And, you know, the Monday morning, when you walk along the main streets and so on, the amount of green t-shirt that was littered over the place. I don't know where NSWMA get truck to pick them up. You understand? The people took whatever they could get, went to the meeting and so on, and then after that they went and voted PNP and gave the PNP a massive victory. What I'm saying is that while money is very important, because you can't run politics without money, just the sheer moving about, doing the work and things like that, that in itself is money. You have to advertise, etc., etc. But when the people make their decision, you know, you can win an election with less money than your opponent.
You know, you don't see a landslide victory for the PNP though.
I do, you know, Jeffrey. I do see a landslide victory because, as I said before, if we, and I do pay attention to the polls, and if we are looking at a 10 percentage point and widening that gap, certainly that could redound in a 42 seats, and that by any language would be a landslide. However, what I'm saying now is that I see a clear pathway for a victory for the People's National Party. As we speak, I have penciling about 35, 36 seats for the People's National Party to date. But I'm not ruling out a landslide. You know, and as I keep on making the point that that landslide is incumbent on whether or not that swing holds that we are picking up on the ground, where, you know, the people seems to be falling out of favor with the Holness-led administration day by day. You know, the misery index is also there, the whole business of cost of living, you know, right now, as you see there, to date, the nurse, the enrolled nurse, the midwives, they are done in black color, you know, from yesterday to today, protesting about money that is owed to them over time. So all in all of those things are mushrooming. You know, we are seeing where the Jamaican economy record a 3.5% decline for the last quarter. We are now waiting the fourth quarter result. And from all accounts, it seems as if we're going to be having a minus growth there. What that will mean, Jeffrey, is that we're officially in a recession in Jamaica. You know, so there also a publication by the UN that shows recently where about 72% of Jamaicans are having difficulty having a meal or a a proper meal or not having or skipping one meal, skipping a meal for the day. And when you look at that, it simply means that your poverty index is going in the wrong direction. We saw just last week again. Last week, today is Tuesday, so last week we saw where about $90 million the central bank pump into the foreign exchange scenario in order to hold the dollar stable. And today, the Jamaican dollar lose 38 cents, even with that heavy pump in of to shore by the BOJ. So all in all, Jeffrey, a lot of moving parts, and if those carry, then certainly it doesn't argue well for an incumbent at all.
Right. We're going to have Senator Damian Crawford coming on now. Conrad O'Brien, give me 2 minutes your take on Senator Crawford, who is running in Northwest St. Catherine.
Just simple superb. And let me hail the man. Hi, Damian, my friend and brother. I greet you well. I greet you well. You know, Jeffrey, I must tell you that I wasn't able to attend Damian's launch, but I'm getting exceptionally good review. Talking about the layout, what he did to accommodate the older folks and so on. It was really just first class. And one thing I can tell you is that the people of Northwest St. Catherine certainly in love with the dreadlock.
Indeed.
Yeah, right. Damian has a love affair with the people, and I wish him well.
Yes.
I wish him well. I wish him well, and he seems to have a full grasp of his portfolio, the portfolio he speaks on, education.
Indeed. I want to tell you thanks, Conrad O'Brien, for coming on a short notice to speak to us in the Make With Our program.
God bless you, my friend. Take care.
God bless you too, my friend. We have with us none other than Senator Damian Crawford. Senator Crawford, welcome to the program.
Great, my brother. How you doing?
I am here, my brother. I'm here doing good. Senator Crawford, you can't let people see you, man. Where you are, you can't let see you?
No, I'm in bed.
Oh, Lord. Okay, no problem. No problem. Senator Crawford, before we dig deep in what we come here to discuss, your take Portmore now, the 15th parish of Jamaica.
What my take?
Yes. What do you think about that?
It's just another example of who the JLP has covered the country for. This have absolutely nothing to do with Portmore. This is the JLP seeking to entrench themselves in another seat that would serve as a mayor for the St. Catherine Parish Council, where Portmore is not a part of it. So then.
Oh Lord, what happened here? We just lost Senator Crawford. I didn't do anything, we just lost him. What happened, I don't know. We just lost Senator Crawford. Oh, here he is.
Come on. Are you hearing me?
Just lost you.
Yeah, yes, you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing it loud and clear. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, so it has never been, for example, all right, so Portmore gonna get more roads now that it's a parish. Is Portmore gonna get more hospitals now that it's a parish? Is Portmore going to get more schools now that it's a parish? What exactly will becoming a parish do for Portmore? It will give JLP a parish council, St. Catherine. It will give JLP a safer seat, having removed the PNP section from the third Portmore seat. It would give JLP this announcement that they made it a parish. But what would it give Portmore? And the answer is absolutely nothing. So the policies, and one of the things I'm becoming depressed by is their willingness to say what is clear is a lie. I mean, it was one thing if a man is a dictator, but if he then tries to say to you that what is clear to be seen, what is that all your senses are malfunctioning, there's the country is going great, then why are we suffering? Why are things not being funded? Why are we missing targets? So we must just ignore all of that and say the country is going great. Oh, crime is down. And why do we feel less secure? We must ignore all of that and just accept that it is down. Oh, we are, they have a thing now to say we recover from COVID while other countries died. Which country? Name me the country that died.
Mm-hmm.
And we must just ignore that.
Senator Crawford, don't it is a dangerous precedent that they have majority. They can. I don't know why he keep on going on and off. Oh Lord, we may have to call him on his phone. I don't know. We're speaking to Senator Damian Crawford. We just lost him a while ago, second time. Let's hope and pray he can come back on. I don't know what's going on. The question I want to ask Senator Crawford though, don't it say that dangerous precedent that the government can do what they want in Parliament because they have the majority in the Parliament? It doesn't look good at all for this country. It do not look good. I hope Senator Crawford can come back, and I don't know what happened, why he keep on coming in and out. I hope he's having some technical difficulties. Senator Crawford, welcome back.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yes. Senator Crawford, don't you think, we're not segueing into what I want to talk to you about, but don't you think that the whole majority in the Parliament is a dangerous president in this country? Like a dictatorship going on?
Well, the intent of our system was for the government to govern, but nobody assumed that a government would govern solely for themselves. It was for them to have the interests of the nation at heart. This entire debate is really around two political parties seeking their own political benefit. The only difference is the PNP is not seeking to make a change to achieve that. The PNP is trying to maintain what was there before. But the PNP rightfully is seeking to defend itself against political malpractice. But there is no benefit to Portmore being named a parish other than what the JLP aims to benefit for themselves. And many, many other policies have been done for their friends. Many, many other policies have been done. I mean, the entire used car for the police as a policy was created so that they could give somebody the contract who was doing used car. That has never been done in Jamaica before. But it was created so that they could give, then we just lose 200 million.
The devil is a liar. I don't know what is going on. I think he's having some technical difficulties. Hold on for me. Let me get him back on the system here. Here we go.
I'm hearing you very well, you know.
I know, but you keep on going in and out. I don't know if it's my system kicking you out or what.
Maybe my friend Chang is on the system.
maybe they're using the Pegasus.
Yeah. Maybe they're using the Pegasus. But yeah, so it is concerning to me that they think we're sufficiently misinformed that they can continuously just do this. And I hope that when we get there, these precedents don't continue.
Senator Crawford, you're running for Northwest St. Catherine. What is your plan for the constituency? Because I know you're a person who have ideas, and when you have your ideas, you put forward your ideas like what you did in Portland. What sort of idea? I don't want you to give out the whole idea because they will thief your thing. You know?
Yeah, they want idea thief generally. No, unfortunately, the police locked off our launch the other day.
I was watching it live. I bring it live on my channel.
Yeah. Right. And the police came and locked it off, stating that there was a state of emergency. Sufficing to say that all the bars and everything else were allowed to remain open. So, and we were we're happy that the people who are earning an income was.
Okay, something is going on here. I don't know what is it. We have lost Senator Crawford again. It's not my, I don't know, it's not my system because we're speaking to Senator Damian Crawford. He is the PNP caretaker for North West St. Catherine. I don't know what's going on. We have lost him 3-4 times now. I just pray and hope that the system will allow him to come back on, because I have some questions to ask that, you know, the Jamaican people and people in the Jamaican diaspora would like to hear. We're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Make We Talk program with yours truly, Jeffrey T., the poor people defender. I was dubbed by Wilfred Rattigan a long, long time ago as the poor people defender, but I hardly use that word. So many things happening in Jamaica. $3 trillion gone down the drain. Well, they say don't go down the drain. They said it's still there. Just that they need to get some more paperwork to come and tell the Jamaican people what is really going on. I may have to call Senator Crawford on his phone. Hold on for me, please. Hold on for me. Let me take a quick commercial break here. Don't go anywhere. Let me sort something out here so we can get Senator Crawford on. We'll be right back. Let's have a quick commercial break.
What is the dream for the election that I want to hear from you before me go?
Which election? Sister, me not the panic. I time for everything now. Me not the panic. When me get out the election.
Look like...
Sister, me not get no election. All you hear me the pan radio, the chat. Me never get none from them.
So you don't get any dream?
Me not in election. I God me the seek no, because guess what? People this a drop dead, so me the repent and go to church back.
They repent? They me not think you did repent long time. Eh?
Me went take over politics and don't have time to send me to read my Bible every morning.
What a shame.
Me they try to find something to compare the counter. Some people they get rent pay. Me living on a piece of work back and can't get water. Me go continue to chat about politics, sister. It's blood that keeps against you.
Lord.
Me can't get water. Whole Christmas upon me pay dinner. Big me when we have 200 hard for the bill upon. Me mad? And me to continue to chat about politics, sister. Nobody with it.
That means it.
Time for everything.
Andrew holding this corner dark then.
Me not nice, sister. Me not go for me not no politics story with you. Me done with politics right now. Me not talking about politics. Me just suffer loose and nobody not give me nothing at all.
It is finished.
Radio and they chat for radio, they think so. Me just suffer bad and nobody not help me.
Oh
things
dear.
Right. People they go collect pay and me not get nothing at all. Not even $1 me not get. So me awa.
But you working?
Me only but no working on.
What kind of work you do?
What's the sister about with the right now, yeah? About with the right now. Me know that right now. Just people that come by ya, they get their house right there pay, so them people come every day contract. Not me. Then I get dollar. Then we go closer where because church have.
Call it Andrew, call it, and I man will sound the trumpet.
Remind him, Papa Dad. Dubplate. Get rid of this evil Prime Minister.
That jaded mean you must dip in it. But I say to Andrew Holdings, you better understand that puts a run wild in a jaded.
Plaza make and you want a shop on the plaza, it's in US dollar.
My God.
Rich. Everything are run by China. Road are run by China. Government are run by America. Can I preach? Can I preach? Native
Welcome back. We have back Senator Crawford. Welcome back, Senator Crawford.
Boy, sorry, man. I don't know what's happening, but it's giving a little
I
trouble.
don't know. If it happen again, I may have to call you.
All right, no problem.
Yeah. Yes, I was saying to you, you going into Northwest to run. I know you have a lot of ideas for the young people for the constituency. I know you don't want to give us so much because you have some people thieving ideas and so forth. But tell us in a nutshell, the people of Northwest and the people in the Jamaican diaspora, what is your plan for the constituency?
Well, there are some of the things that I have always maintained that we will continue. Of course, we have always believed in the 1 degree per household as a mantra, and we will continue with that. What we call the 3-to-1 plan to have 1 degree per household. That 1 degree per household, therefore, would start by having a concentration on literacy. We have already started some of the activities such as telephone tutorial, veranda basic. And these are things where volunteers would take a child, for example, telephone tutorial. Our schools that have children reading below the grade level, the literacy expert will design a personalized 60-day effort to have them catch up. And a volunteer would take that personalized designed instruction and deliver it by telephone for 40 minutes per day to carry the person up to literacy. The veranda.
No. It has nothing to do with me. I think it's where he is. Let me call him then. I'm going to call him. Oh, here he is. Sorry. Okay, here he is. Senator Crawford?
Yeah.
Yes, it's much better here. Let's do it from here then.
All right. Yeah, man. I don't know where you got cut out, so.
You're talking about the tutorial.
Right. So the telephone tutorial, right? So if we have children reading below the grade level, children in fifth form, fourth form, all the forms leading. We have children in fifth form reading at pre-prima level. I don't know if you saw the news of a school in Kingston, Holy Trinity, that of the 207, 205 were having reading difficulties.
Yes.
So one of the strategies that we have implemented is the telephone tutorial, where the reading expert would design a personalized plan, 60-day plan for the child. And a volunteer will call the child for 40 minutes per day and go through that daily 60-day personalized plan for comprehension, for word identification, for word attack, for pronunciation, depending on what was designed by the literacy experts within the schools. So we have that. We also have called upon the Sabbath schools and the Sunday schools to infuse literacy in their Sabbath school and Sunday school programs. And we're discussing with the pastors fraternal to provide breakfast as a encouragement for the children to come out to Sabbath school and Sunday school, and for storybooks and the Abeka system to be implemented. All working together for literacy, because the 1 degree per household starts with having persons who are literate. We also have our GSAT classes that we are implementing, and we currently have the math classes, CXC math classes that I particularly teach. A lot of people don't recognize the competitive advantage that passing math in and of itself create. For example, is a requirement for the police force. So few people are passing math that if you pass maths, you almost automatically get in the police force if you're interested. It is a requirement for university. So therefore, if we can increase the math competence, then you give your area a competitive advantage in becoming employed or progressing onto the tertiary sector. So I have started teaching math at Charlie Mount on Saturdays from 10 to 2. We have transportation difficulties, so we're going to be taking it online and giving our interested students phone credit for them to watch it on their phone from their homes, because we are having difficulty getting to the center. A lot of people don't realize that so few traveling happening in rural areas on a weekend that taxis don't see it beneficial to run the route. So when you have an area like Ty Dixon, because the movement is so limited, you don't find that taxis run often. And a lot of persons within these areas, they go to church and all these things in the area. So they're not moving about to the point that a taxi find it viable. So some of my children can't come out on a Saturday because enough traveling not happening for them to come out. So,
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, man. So we still believe in the 1 degree per household. Farming and ownership is another thing. So I don't know if you've heard about Paul Padmore.
Yes.
He's running in South Trelawney.
He was on
Yes.
my program about a month ago.
Right. Well, he gave me the idea of 1 business per household. So, I've always had the 1 degree per household under the 3-2-1 plan. And one day he called me and said, have you ever thought about expanding it to 1 business per household? And that he wanted us to kind of have a conversation and work together on that idea. And it was impressive. That's a thought. And I've taken on that idea myself to say if we can give each household a earning potential. And you see, the person listening in, say, oh, you might give them a new business. Not necessarily all of them. Some already have businesses that you can work with them to improve, to enlarge. So, for example, you have some persons who may be doing woodwork, building furniture and all of that, joinery. It might just be a tool, a particular tool that can expand. It might be promotion. It might be using my influence and posting them on my Twitter, or putting some money behind promoting photographs on Facebook for them. So it is not automatically, oh, you have to buy a man of this, you have to buy a man of that. Some persons would have to get that, but there are persons who may have already had things that they're working on. And it is to find methods and strategies to improve that. But then you have others, for example, I've always wondered why communities don't consume their own chicken.
Yeah.
And the main is because they don't get to sell in the supermarket because of slaughter practices. So we are commissioning a mobile slaughter system that we will go to the communities, slaughter the chicken, put them under the Northwest Best brand, and then negotiate with the supermarkets to sell our chicken so that we can have a constant market for our chicken and a broadened market for our chicken. The constituency have over 54,000 people. And as you know, chicken is a staple meal. So I would presume that the constituency might be consuming over 100,000 chicken per week. And so if we had 100,000 chicken per week, best dress shouldn't be dominant in the space if we have persons with yard space and woolly by empty chicken coop. So when we look at the 1 business per household, that is also something we're promoting.
Yes.
To do that. We have Chuju.
Senator Crawford, before you go to that, somebody said I should ask you this question though. Do you're the one who fund the students the phone cards, or you have somebody helping you?
Well, we get a little bit here or there. Currently, I go face to face. So we're just now transitioning into the phone cards because we do 10 to 12, 20 to 2, and sometimes you see a child reach 12:30. Why does I come? Couldn't get no vehicle. You understand? They have lost 3-4 hours, 3-4 topics before they come, even though they are interested to come. So yeah, we are the ones that will be funding it. As you know, I'm not yet the member of parliament.
I know.
And we have persons from even overseas that will help us with lunch for them sometimes and stuff like that. But in the main, yes, we fund that. So what we want to do is to move it to a system where those who prefer face to face they can come while the thing is being projected into the homes of the others who can come. And then anybody in Jamaica, I don't know, people might know that I have the full mathematics syllabus online on YouTube. If you search, yes, if you search Damian Crawford mathematics, you'll see.
Because at one point, Senator Crawford, someone called me and said, Jeffrey, you need to restream Senator Crawford teaching. So I tried to do it, but for some unknown reason, I think your system was giving problems, so it came on and off. So I came off.
No, I didn't. I did. Yes, yes, yes. I don't understand the technology so well, right? So even the ones that I have online currently,
yes,
is not on my page. The person who videoed it, I just allow them to put it on their page. Come couldn't bother to learn how to upload it and all of that. So it is
maybe what I need to do for you. I don't know if my good friend Owen Brown, if he works on weekends at Cool FM, because he was at Rose and Hill, he got Cool FM now. If he is not working on a Saturday, I don't know how far you go to do the school thing. Maybe I could ask.
I'm at Charlemont High School.
So I'm gonna talk to him and ask if he can do a live feed that people can see that those who can't come, they can see that hey, you're in school doing this, and they can get it live.
Yeah, man. It will exponentially increase the reach of the activity, because I mean we were living at Kingston, don't know some of these problems that they face, and I have children in Ty Dixon that have to go to St. Anne to get back to St. Catherine.
Jesus, that's very far.
Because there's no transportation coming this way. You see, because they're farming community with land in the space, and when many of them are moving out to go, then the taxi would basically do one trip empty, because there's not the traffic going back into Ty Dixon in the morning, and there's not the traffic coming out of Ty Dixon in the evening. So you imagine you running a taxi that go one way empty, totally empty. You understand? So you find that there's a problem there. So it is to figure that out, and the technology is a way to do that. So anybody who can assist us with understanding how to set up that technology, they would have done me and the students a great favor.
Senator Damian Crawford. Senator, these are the things that I love to do. And I said to my wife a couple nights ago, I said, I wish I was back home to assist in, food programs and stuff like what you're talking about. Because I would do it free of cost on my channel.
Yes.
But I am not there, and I don't know. I'm gonna ask Owen to see if Owen can assist, to see what he can do to make sure that our students can get help. You're already there teaching them. All we need is somebody with a technology to go down there and say, okay, we're going to do this free of cost. All the person going to need is some data. They put data on their phone or whatever from up here, and they have it to go and stream it live to the students who can't come, who can't see what, can't come there. Senator Crawford, go ahead, sir.
I learned, I don't know how many people know that I used to teach CXC math before I started teaching.
I heard about it, yes.
Yeah. So before I started teaching at UWI, and I have learned from teaching CXC math at inner city school, and then secondly at traditional schools, that the only difference is the number of exposure. You see, when you go to one school, that child don't go to extra classes, etc. But the child at Campion oftentimes go to extra classes. The child at KC oftentimes go to extra classes. So while they're getting their 4 hours or 3 hours during the week, they're also getting another 3 hours at their extra classes. And so when you add that up over 5 years, that person must perform. It's like you're training for 6 hours and I'm training for 3. And then the 2 hours I go run the same Olympics. Of course, I got run left me unless I was a superior talent. But in this case, the superior talent is getting 6 hours and the less superior talent is getting 3. It's the inverse of what is necessary.
Yes.
So that is why I've always had these extra classes and these math camps at UA to give those who can't afford it that option, that opportunity. And as I said, if we can get it on the internet live, yeah, and give them the credit, it will really solve the challenge that they're facing.
I'm gonna work on that, Senator Crawford. That's one thing I'm gonna promise you, sir. I'm gonna work on that and see what I can do from my end. If Owen
Yes.
can do it, I'm gonna see on different route because I have friends down there who are tech savvy more than I do, and see if I can get them to come on board and help. Because at the end of the day, we have to do something for our country to let this country out of the bind that this country is in. You know?
Well, the education aspect to me is the answer. It has always, in my opinion, and maybe it's because that is what I use. Maybe if I sell drugs and get out and promote that, but that is what saved my life.
Right.
That is what made me able to be requested for come on a program, and that is what I cut out a little space in a society that I can contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know why our children feel that if them learn maths, them can be a DJ. Or if them learn English, they can be a TikToker. When you ask them what they want to be, fine if you want to be a TikToker. In my time, a lot of us wanted to be athletes, football, and all of that.
True.
But what in mathematics stops you from being a TikToker? For some reason, if you said to people, yo, listen, there's this Ponzi scheme that you can swallow some drugs and go foreign and get rich.
Mm-hmm.
They're quicker to buy into it than if you say, yo, there's this other scheme that if you pass CXC and go to university and qualify as an engineer, you can get rich. But you quicker take up the scheme of a scammer. You understand?
Yes,
No,
yes.
there's way more people that have gotten wealthy from education than have gotten wealthy from criminal activity. Way, way more. There's this thing where a lot of people like to quote, but this one I never go university and I'm a millionaire. What's his name again? That him drop out. Is it Steve Jobs or is it one who owned Microsoft or whatever? I was doing some research.
Yes.
Right. 88% of the millionaires in the world have a degree.
I don't think Richard Branson had
57.
one though, you know.
Yes, but these are outliers.
Yes.
And many of them actually went to university and dropped out.
True.
But 88% of those who are millionaires in the world have a degree. And 52% of them have a second degree, meaning a master's or something like that.
Yes.
Of the poor in the world, only 3% have a degree. So logic suggests that there's a greater probability. Of course, there are going to be people without degrees that are wealthy. But in this case, it would be only 12% of the millionaires in the world don't have a degree. So to me, it suggests that if you can get a degree solves every single problem with the country having.
Oh yes.
The vast majority of people in prison for crime don't have a degree.
That's sad.
The vast majority of people who are suffering from malnutrition don't have a degree. The vast majority of people who are ill and can't access healthcare don't have a degree.
My God.
So it seems to me that since the people with degrees have escaped the maladies of our society, the people with degrees are not waiting on cashpot to decide if them can cook.
They're going out there.
So therefore, if all these things that we're trying to solve, how many people with degrees are on PATH program, can't send their children to school, can't provide a bus fare? People with degrees are having it hard enough, but they're not suffering to the same level as the people without degrees. And for some reason, we have ignored that.
At one point, Senator Crawford, they said that is what? Nearly 1 million Jamaicans go to the bed at night hungry.
52%. So that would be no, there's a 52% have food insecurity.
Yes.
So that would be 1.5 million
Whoa.
have food insecurity. Now there's another part that you have to add to that as a mathematician.
Yes.
If unemployment is only 4%, yet 52% have food insecurity, then it suggests that there are many people who are working who can't buy food.
Mm-hmm.
That just don't make sense.
Wow.
Because if you're working, at minimum, you should be able to buy food.
True.
And so if 4% not working, yet 52% can buy food, then that reads to suggest that quite a bit of persons who are working cannot buy food.
Senator Crawford, before you go on anything else, a good friend of ours on the platform here, Sir Christopher Campbell, is asking about Zoom. Does the children have access to internet system at home?
Then a lot of them have the smartphone, so once they get the data,
Okay.
they
Let me
have
ask a
access to
question now then.
anything that can be.
Oh, but they're still gonna need a camera.
Oh, no, man, I will provide a camera. I have cameras that we use.
Okay. So okay, if for instance saying that I stay from up here and send out a Zoom link, send the Zoom link to you, and then you send it out so they can access school via Zoom.
I will ask the school as to their knowledge of Zoom,
Yes.
Because I don't know how exposed they are to Zoom. So I have your number, so I can ask the school tomorrow, the
Right.
principal, about their knowledge of Zoom. I know they know YouTube, but I don't know their knowledge of Zoom. And I don't know, for example, if 300 people depend on Zoom, how does that impact the
I think
the experience?
I think hold on there for me. I think Zoom can accommodate. Oh Lord, I'm gonna research it, but I know Zoom can accommodate a whole lot. How
Right.
much it can accommodate, I don't remember. But
Right. So I was just thinking outside of the box.
yes, and you have some new web system now that accommodate a lot of people. We can check that out too and see if that can assist. Because even the restream here, restream is easy to come on. Can it accommodate 300 people? I don't know. I've never done a research like that before. I know it can accommodate 10 to 11 people now because I'm doing a live feed with this. But we're gonna between me and my friend Christopher Campbell, we're gonna see what we can do in a sense of figure out this Zoom thing. You talk to the school and then you call me back, sir.
Yes, I'll call you back.
Yes.
I need to improve myself as it relates to these things, but that's this thing where you said, man, I don't even know what to press on it most time.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yeah,
I know, man.
yeah. But the kids, you know, and they're smart kids that just not getting the opportunity that they need.
And a lot of people here in South Florida, Senator Crawford, and I'm pretty much sure you know about this. Jamaicans who live overseas, when they hear about a Damian Crawford, a lot of people here stand up in the air and say, yes, that is Jamaica's next education minister. You did well in tourism. But I personally think, sir, you should be in education, be the education minister. And for you, is a person who loves to go down to the grassroots of people. I don't see a Damian Crawford sitting in the office every day delegating. I see
No, well,
I see a
I
Damian Crawford going out
requested.
there. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
I requested. Yeah, man, no problem. I requested from our leadership that I be considered at that time for education.
Right.
That's the thing that I've always wanted to participate, because I think the tourism, the everything is going to depend on what we are doing with education. At this point, only 18% is getting a GED. That's what 5 CXE means, that they get a GED. If that was happening in America, America must right up. There would be demonstrations. It would be a crisis. In Jamaica, only 18%, 82% is not getting the equivalent of a GED. through 5 subjects, including math and English. How can you run a society now where machine have replaced muscle? There's no need for muscle anymore, you know. Cement mixer is replaced by a premix truck. Bush chopper is replaced by a weed whacker. Clothes washer is replaced by a washing machine. There's a thing called iRobot now. We're making a need no help. You turn it on and go work it clean the whole house and come back. I mean, AI now is doing everything. I went to Walmart. They didn't have a cashier, self checkout.
Yes,
So there's no place for the uneducated. Yes, yes. But there's no place for the uneducated 10 years from now. So how are we going to survive when only 18% is getting a GED?
You know,
where are we going to be as a society? What work are they going to do? My whole code is automated. So what am I going to do?
My God. We're living some serious times, you know. Some serious times. Senator Crawford, I have some questions for you, but somebody's asking you a question on the thing here. Christopher Campbell is saying, Mr. Crawford, what other methods do you need? What other materials, rather, do you need for the program? You need pencils, pen, and books?
Calculators, about 100, but a lot of them don't have calculators. Workbooks, those are empty notebook that they can use. And of course, any contribution to lunch. Some of them don't have lunch. And the best thing you do for make them come to school is get them KFC. I don't know why them love KFC so much. But if you make them know the KFC are there this week, they're all coming out. But
are they
yeah,
doing well?
calculator. Some of them, what you find is that education, in particular mathematics, is cumulative. So cumulative means that you teach tomorrow expecting that the child learns something today. So let me give you an example. If I'm going to teach quadratic equation on Thursday, I would teach factorization on Wednesday because quadratic equations are based on factorization. You must be able to factorize. Now, if the child didn't come on Wednesday and still come on Thursday, then they're going to be lost because they don't know how to factorize. You understand? So a lot of these kids, they were absent on many days because we have a high absenteeism rate in Jamaica, 24% absenteeism rate. The United States said that chronic absenteeism is 10%. And the Prime Minister, unfortunately not understanding the difference, said that we have a truancy problem. Truancy is when the child was sent to school and him don't show up. That's different from absenteeism. Absenteeism is when mother don't have the money for send him today. Absenteeism is when one family member sick, so therefore him can't come. Absenteeism is when rain or fall and nobody now drive go up there so because the road is so bad. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So we have a so when the child now was absent 20% of 7th grade, 20% of 8th grade, 20% of 9th grade, they're far behind because it assumes cumulativeness. So when I come and you don't understand how numbers function, for example, I don't know how much of your listeners know that a multiplication table is simply telling you how many times to add a number to itself.
Right.
So 2 times 3 is to add 2 3 times. So 2 times 3 is 6, which is 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 6. And 2 8 is 16 is just to add 2 to itself 8 times. If you knew that, therefore, you would recognize that if you know 2 12s, you know 2 13.
Right.
Because if 2 12s is adding 2 to itself 12 times 24, then 2 13 is simply to add 1 more 2, and that is 26. But the person now who don't know that reality try to figure out 213 and nobody never teach him, and him did stop at 212 and because he's working from memory.
Yes.
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, man, I understand.
So, for example, there's a law that is called the cumulative law, the way in which you add and multiply numbers don't affect the result.
Yes.
So, therefore, if I say to you, multiply 8 by 4 by 5 is the same thing as saying 8 by 5 by 4. So 8 5 is 40, and 40 times 4, so that's 160. Or we can say 4 by 5 is 20,
Right.
and 20 times 8 is 160. That's the cumulative law. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So if you know the cumulative law, all you do is to just do the easier route. But if you don't know the cumulative law, you don't know how to transform it. There's another law called distribution law. So if I say to you, what is 13 times 7? It is actually 7 times 10 plus 3. So 7 times 10 is 70, and 7 times 3 is 21. So that is then now 91. 13 times 7 is 91. But if you don't know the distributive law, you look at just 733 law, and you start to be a madness. So when they don't know these laws, these basics, and you catch them now and you teach them trigonometry and all of that, you'll find that is a problem. For example, the triangle is half base times height because it's half of a square or a rectangle, which is length times width. So if you look at the base times height, the base is the width and the height is the length. So therefore, because it's half, that's why I go half base times height. If they don't know these realities that an angle make a line, that is why at angle A, the opposite is line A, because if the angle was different, the line will be different.
Yes.
So when they come now, I teach them these 11th grade work. Sometimes, so what you need is that additional time to go back. And that's why I think that's one of the reasons too, because I can't go there more than 4 hours on a Saturday. But if I could sit down in my yard from 7 till 9, I would go every night. You understand?
Yes.
If they had access to the internet and I could teach them. Because you have to carry them back to the basics, get them concretizing at that now. Because them getting frustrated by, like one child said to me, sir, I wish me they have your brain. No, we just learn the basics. I just learned those things over time. It's not my brain. It is the exposure. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So there, a lot of them are not exposed. But you have some where fireman, you have somewhere, yeah, some of them are fire, and you have a little girl there where I just confidence she not have because she just a catch it now. And I see how easy it is. Because mathematics is the only subject that is taught by every country at every grade.
Right. Right.
There must be a reason. There must be a reason why every country at every grade teach the subject. You don't get accounts at 1 grade and 2 grade. You don't get physics at 1 grade and 2. From year 0, them teach you mathematics. And it's in every country. Because it's a subject of logic. It's training in problem solving. If you can solve problems better than another person, you'll be better at life than that other person. Because life is problem.
Senator Crawford, do you think that this government or the former Minister of Education, you think they have done enough during the pandemic, before the pandemic, during the pandemic and after the pandemic, for the Jamaican children?
Well, first of all, they don't understand it. They don't understand education. They don't know what the issues are. They don't know they don't know what they want out of it. If you said to the government now, what is it that you want? What is your desired outcome for education? They can't tell you. They're gonna tell you, say, oh, the partisan report. You have to know what is your desired, like me saying, I want 1 degree per household.
Right.
That is my desired outcome. So how do we get there? What do we do? What are the issues? What's the reason why one school like Campaign have a 98% chance and another school like Haile Selassie have a 2% chance? What's the reason for that gap? I've never heard them identify them, like absenteeism, like nutrition, like committed and understanding parent, like motivation. Yeah, are you understanding what I'm saying? These are the issues that you have to say, yo, okay, how do I fix this part? How do I fix that part? Because as I said, if we have 25% average absenteeism, it means we have areas with 30%, 40%, because it campaign I got 99% at the time. So how you solve that? What's the reason for that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
How you gonna teach a child who is hungry? They said 28% of Jamaican children arrive at school hungry now, meaning they get there in the morning haven't had anything.
My God.
So how are you gonna teach that child? I make the joke like that when they say the area of a circle is pi r square. A hungry picnic in a year the r square, him stop a pie, him want know if a pecan pie, him want know if a apple pie. You understand?
True.
But animals which human beings are animals have two functions: sustenance and performance. Sustenance is staying alive, and performance is carrying out their task. As you know, I have a farm.
Yes.
If my fowl them not get feed, them move from performance to sustenance, so them stop lay egg.
Right.
If my goat them not get enough feed, they move from performance to sustenance, so them abort their baby, or them stop provide milk, or them stop grow. So when a child go to school, that is performance. If they are hungry, they will not focus on performance. They will redirect their efforts. So then put them here on the decks. Then stop focus because they're hungry. They're gone into sustenance, into survival.
Wow. Uh-oh. This thing is reconnecting. Senator Crawford? I think the signal now is going down. He's reconnecting. We're speaking to Senator Damian Crawford. Hold on. Hello, Senator Crawford?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Hello?
We lost you there a while ago, but let me ask you this question here, though, Senator Crawford, in the interest of time here.
Yes, yes.
When you look at Jamaica now, you talk to us about education system in our country and our youth and so forth. But when you look at Jamaica now, Senator Crawford, 3 trillion unaccountable for, 28 bank accounts. Is it setting a bad precedent for these young people that are coming up in our society?
Yes, and those are not the big ones that are setting a bad precedent. If people who are just unexposed, who are not smart, are getting very big jobs with very high income,
right?
How do you tell the person that education should mean something? If you're going to put a lady not qualified for a job that wants a degree into the job done by Petrojam, and then pay her more than the job used to pay the person with a master's, how are you going to convince a young girl that sexy is not the only thing she should achieve? Because if she's sexy enough, she can get a job that she's not qualified for. If you're gonna put some people who don't know A from Bullfoot to say them a minister, then why should I, and I don't know why Jamaicans don't accept that knowledge, information, education, smartness is a political conversation because we have big problems. Small minds can't solve big problems. So it is more to accept a man say him rich as a competitive advantage than to say him smart. If you go there and say, yo, the candidate they broke in us, so them a thief or them now go can mine you or them now can get nothing. It's no problem. If they're going to say, yo, the person too done to make these decisions, a man start to say, yo, no, you can't say that. Why you can't say that? That is a reasonable conversation. Just like if you come to play basketball, I can say you're too short. There should be no reason. If you don't have good and high coordination, how you going to play cricket? So with the problem that we have, you have to send people that can't pronounce Jamaica. And then you're going to say to a child, to make it in a life, you should be educated. When you have all these examples, that to make it in a life, you just have to know the right people.
Yes. And have links and connection.
Yeah. And then have money. And if you have enough money, you have somebody automatically. I don't know when somebody starts selling a market. I don't know, say people can just be a nobody, go market and buy it and be somebody.
Yes.
That's the only way money can make you be somebody. You understand me? So So the examples to the children, unfortunately, is that there's nothing that you need to be informed for. You can be anything you want without putting some effort. Between 3 and 18, because of it's just a friend thing. It's not a merit society. It's a friend society. So stealing, I've concretized it. The accusation of being a chopper, a scammer, even in government, has made that desire, be more buttressed. But the examples being proposed to them of non-performers in high power, I believe is a unfortunate thing for telling education as important.
Right. Senator Crawford, let's go to the nitty-gritty of politics now. If the people, when the People's National Party gains state power and you become a
Yes.
member of parliament, will
Yes.
you push for the People's National Party, sir, to order forensic audit in every government ministries in this country for the level of corruption that's going on in the country, sir? Would you do something like that?
It would be smart for everybody to do that, because other than that, the old laws will tumble down by you. If I go to the Ministry of Education and then I wait till 3 years' time, there's an audit at the Ministry of Education to say that this wasn't done, especially because people don't listen to all of the news. Once you are the current, it's like, oh, here people are saying something not going on at the PNP Parish Council when this was an audit while the JLP had it. You know what I mean? So the people don't really listen to all of the news. So it would be wise. Would I push for it? I am focused on pushing for boarding. I'm focused on pushing for 1 meal per child in school. I'm focused on pushing for solar power. Instead of paying $3 billion JPS for school electricity. I'm focused on extending the school day. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, extending the school day from 2:30 to 4:30. Because why are we sending home our children at 2:30 and the parents not getting home until 7? And then wonder why they're getting pregnant and recruited by gangs. The people who are normally home during work time are not the examples that we want to send our children home to. Yet we have been doing it since Wapikil full up, because when they started, one parent was always home, women never worked. So in that time when school was done in at 2:30, there was an adult at the house automatically. Now that is not so, especially with our high single mother experience. So with our high single parent experience, we should not be sending home our children at 2:30. So I want to extend the school day so that on a Monday and a Wednesday, that is homework, and on a Tuesday and a Thursday, that is clubs and society.
Right.
So therefore, because my energies are directed in that way, I wouldn't be a chief activist for auditing. I would audit mine so that my name no call.
I was gonna
And
ask you
I
that.
would
I was just
write.
gonna say that to you. Would
Yeah,
you audit it?
but me audit mine, man, of course. And I'm sending a letter to the Auditor General that we are ignoring the backlog that they have left. I am not going to do for them accounts and then them say my accounts not do. No. Listen, you go talk to them about that. I am starting my accounts. My accounts must be updated. If we have some time, we look back on for them on. But I won't be doing, look on the Ministry of Health where they're behind by must about 9 years or whatever.
Yes.
You go in tomorrow now and you have your staff and your resources directed to the backlog. What's going to happen to your years? It end up being behind. Yeah. So I'm not gonna do that. But that is just to protect my name and myself. But I wouldn't be a lobbyist, because I would be fighting for 1 meal per child in school. And that is going to be a fight. You understand? I'll be fighting for solar power and air condition so that comfort is increased.
I was gonna say that to you. As a minister of education, when you become minister of education, you will be lobbying for solar panel and air conditioning throughout the length and breadth of Jamaica's school system, eh?
Then, well, first of all, global warming is something that most people other than Donald Trump have accepted to be true.
Mm-hmm.
We have hotter days, and yet still we have made no change to the classrooms. So both the teacher and the picnic is uncomfortable.
True.
How are they going to learn? Now, the way me see it, school should be somewhere that you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But also, school should not be dependent on the vagaries of JPS if hurricane blow tomorrow.
You're so right.
So the school should have its own water source, a tank that can be at least 7 days, so we can go fill it up on weekend. The school should have its own garbage compactor, a system that can last for at least 5 days, so that we can go clean it on weekend. And a school should be off the grid from electricity. And this is very cheap for schools because it don't need battery. The school work in the sun at.
But
By time 5 o'clock, school done.
But how are we gonna control a solar panel with so many thiefness going around the country?
Well, you see, that's why I said to you, we need people who are thinking because we are looking commissioning a special color that this color is for school. So and then paint it making another color there, so therefore we can find it easy and we can lock you up. We are look at making schools a safe zone, which means double the penalty for any crime committed in our school zone, including speeding, including murder, including theft. We are look at putting in a tracking system where once they take you up, we are looking having video monitoring, centralized video monitoring. So we have people where I monitor videos for these schools, and with the light. Then we have the sensor will come on when yeah. So from that command, the person where monitor know where to look.
Right.
Yeah. So you have systems where you have to go put into place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Darvas couldn't come up with these ideas because he's not that type of a thinker, but we need to put thinkers in the thing.
Why Damian Crawford is easy?
Yeah. No, that's not the truth. You know? Yeah.
True. Senator Crawford,
Yeah.
in the whole idea of education and educating our people and so forth.
Yes.
Are you prepared, if you become Minister of Education, to build at least 4 or 5 more schools in the country?
Well, yes. Couple of things. Ruel Reed, who got into trouble, was promoting this concept called brain builders. And you have to give credit where credit is due, right? However, he built enough spaces for 1,200 children when the number of children it was over 140,000. So that just never made sense. But he recognized that the first 1,000 days of a child's life, 80% of their brain's function is developed. Yet the Jamaican education system starts at 3 after the first 1,000 days. So he wanted to encourage education activity. Additionally, I don't know if he thought of this, but he didn't pronounce it. He didn't announce it. But because of single parenthood and because of early parenting, meaning the granny have not retired, you find that a lot of our young girls are having delayed re-entry into the workforce because they have to keep the picnic. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So my daughter goes to preschool and it allows for us to go to work. If you can't afford preschool, they have to stay home with her and you can't go to work. So therefore, I said to myself, how can we exponentially expand the concept of brain builders, meaning a space where children from 1.5, 2 start to go, are kept until the parent come home and are taught the things that they need to be taught, motor skills and games and interaction and all of that. And it came to my mind that there are some spaces throughout Jamaica that are not being utilized. In the week, they're called churches.
Yes, true. They're locked up from Sunday to Sunday. Open until
Exactly.
lock
And
about,
Saturday for
yeah.
fun.
Right, yes.
But definitely not being used 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
True.
And in Jamaica, they have a history of being education participants.
Mm-hmm.
Some reach out to some churches and say, yo, would you participate as a brain builder center? Would you register your space
Mm-hmm.
for your community? Because the only thing we have more than church is barring.
Yes. Then 10 bit remind me of the Cayman Islands.
So if you can get every community to have a volunteer church, that means government now have to build out that space.
Mm-hmm.
All we have to do now is to put in a teacher in the space.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have to give them a contribution fee, have a storage unit for the other things that they're going to use. I don't know. I mean, some churches are richer and bigger, and
right.
we'll make the selection. Immediately, you can start to have brain builder centers throughout Jamaica, indicating developing the child's confidence in vocabulary. I mean, my little daughter, as I said, she's 2 in April.
Mm-hmm.
She know every animal sound and she calls them by the sound.
Wow.
So she see dog, roof roof. She see lion, she roar.
Yes.
She see monkey. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yes.
She knows her full ABC. Now, isn't the world unfair that she's going to compete with a little child where I run up and down and them breathe at them yard and nothing else until them are 6-year-old?
My God.
Yeah, are you understanding
yes,
what I'm saying? So yes, I'll reach out to the church then, but we not get too much, because them are teeth them and next thing I hear it in them budget.
Right. I don't want to take it from
And yeah, and it's not my intent to keep myself in opposition. Because even so, and people say, but it will help Jamaica. No, it will not, because they won't delay themselves to change from a was to a beast. They might just take the concept and run with the concept and don't think it out to make it work, because they are not believers in it. It just sounds good enough to win election. So when you give, it's like why would I give a man my daughter to grow? No, I want to grow my daughter.
Yes.
I feel that I would look out for her best interest.
True.
And my ideas are the same. I think that if I am able to implement the things that I have conceptualized, I will see the problems quicker. I will identify the positives, and I'll do it better than you. So therefore, I don't want to give it to you to use it for beat me. And when you beat me now, you are implemented foolishly.
Senator Crawford, and I know you're tired. I know you had a long day today.
Yeah.
I want you to speak to the people of your constituency and the wider Jamaica as we wrap this segment here, because I know you're going to come back to speak to us. So as we wrap up now, speak to the people of your constituency and the wider Jamaica.
Well, first of all, to the people of the constituency, I want to thank them for making me feel welcome. To the constituency for making me feel as if it's a match to my opinions and my views and values. And that is always good for comfort, that you are around people who think in the same way. I want to say to the entire population that if you really look at the mathematics, 1833 to now, that is 192 years since we were supposed to be free. And as I said the other day, I don't believe that this experience that we're having is what our foreparents meant when they said we shall overcome. You see, when you look at it, it's two political terms left before 200 years since freedom. And we're still not free. Just meditate on that. Only 2 terms, political terms, 8 years before 200 years. And we still can't go doctor when we're sick. You have people now that are on a waiting list for 12 months in pain. That we still don't own anything other than the plot of land that we're buried on. That our biggest party is our 9-night. It couldn't be that we can't eat if we're hungry unless we number play in a cash pot or a quick car, whatever other gambling effort that we are all participating in. That our children are still uneducated. that our people still don't own land. Go back to any paper in 1831 or 1830 or 1829 before slavery ended and see what were the plights of the blacks then. No ownership, no education, no health care, and come and analyze if they are not the same plights though. And collectively, we have to at least do it for those who used to sing, "We shall overcome." God I never said 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and them say someday. That means that they were looking at their children. Them did a hope that I would not be landless, and you would not be foodless, and she will not be without health care. And even though we're governing ourselves and we're no longer slaves, we are not free from those things that they were trying to. Paul Bogle will march today for land ownership as he did then, because we still don't own no land.
One of these days to Senator Crawford.
Yeah.
What
Love in the house.
a Jamaican gonna march one again from Morant Bay straight into Negril. Mark my word.
Well, we just have to do what we have to do. And just voting is not the only answer.
There you go.
But volunteering, being active, taking up your community, fix each household. If every household improves, the country must improve. You know?
True.
And all you want is a government that don't make it hard for you to improve your household. The government not going to be able to do it and not going to be willing. You cannot left your total life to another man. I will never do that. And if 3 million people make 63 people lead them astray, something wrong with the 3 million people. But I'm saying to the people out there, you want a government that don't make it hard or impossible to improve your household. Because your total intent must be make a picnic better than you. That is your total responsibility. And if each of us is committed to that and vote in or vote out who is hindering that, you will see how fast Jamaica grow.
Indeed. And if it's not now, then when? And we need to do it now.
Yeah, well, is it Trump passing home? There's no only Jamaica can deport we, you know.
There you go.
The only place that cannot deport us is Jamaica.
It's Jamaica.
So might as well make it fix up.
You know, as you said that, a lady called me, Senator Crawford, about her passport. And I have to do a program on Jamaican passport. A lot of Jamaicans don't educate themselves on their passport. They've never read the back of the Jamaican passport. They don't know what it says.
Right.
You know, so I will end up doing a program on that. But Senator Crawford, I want to tell you thanks, sir. Thank you so much for coming on this program. And
respect, my brother.
I wish you all the best in your endeavors to represent the people of Northwest St. Catherine rather, sorry. And call me and see what I'm going to talk to my good friend in the chat room here and see what we can do to assist you. I'm going to call my other good friend Owen Brown to see if he can come over to Charlie Mount School and do the live stream. You know, because even if we do it through Zoom, there has to be a live stream on the blackboard. We call it blackboard back in the days. What they call it now? So
yeah, still the whiteboard or blackboard, yeah.
Whiteboard, yes. Boy, everything they change up now.
Yeah. Because you white now because you use marker instead of chalk, you know.
Okay. I get in very well.
Yeah.
Senator Damian Crawford, the man who don't mince word, the man who can talk up a storm. What can go so?
What can go so?
Indeed, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope election that I can call you and say congratulations.
Yeah, well, I won't be answering the phone election night. We'll be at HQ celebrating the victory of the People's National Party. So the next day you can call me and say congratulations.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
All right. And I thank everybody for tuning in. Respect. Cool.
All right. Senator Damian Crawford, there. A senator in the Jamaican Parliament, Jamaican senator, for coming on the program here tonight. I want to say thanks to everyone who makes this possible. And before I go, it's now 9:22. I saw my good friend in the chat room, Chris Garfield, read. He said something like, I didn't see it. I think he said something to me about doing some fundraising where. We'll talk off air, Garfield, and Christopher, we'll talk off air too. We, as a nation and as a people, as what Senator Crawford just said, and I keep on saying this on this program, the change that we seek in this country as Jamaicans ain't gonna come from the People's National Party or the Jamaica Labour Party. It has to come from us as a people. We are the change that we seek in this country. And when you have a young senator like Damian Crawford, who willing to assist our people, who sacrifice themselves on weekends to go there in the schools and teach children mathematics, we in the Jamaican diaspora must do what we can to assist. He's not a member of parliament as yet. He's doing it on his free will. And all he needs is something technology to end up bringing it back to the kids or whatever he wants to do it. He's not savvy, he's not technology savvy. So we have to figure out a way how to assist him. And for those who are out there who want to assist in books and pencils and so forth, as what he said that he needs to assist the children, then let's figure out a way how to help him. Because without education, we're nothing. And Michael Manley have always put education first. And I don't want to think that I'm preaching PNP politics here. I'm not. I'm preaching Jamaica because Jamaica come first for us. For me, Jamaica come first. And I say to you tonight, my fellow Jamaicans, both home and abroad, let's do something to uplift the great nation of ours. Let's do something to build this rock, to change this rock around. That when we're all gone, our children can say, yes, a Garfield Reed, a Christopher Campbell, a Walking in Divine Purpose, a Taylor, a Tavares, a Rattigan, and all of the others have done some great work in driving this country forward, not backward. May God bless you. I want to say thanks to Divine Purpose. Thanks to Fireman himself, Conrad O'Brien from New South 93 FM, for coming on the program and give us his take on the political scene in our country, Jamaica. Thank you all very much for coming on. Thank you all for being a part of the program. Thanks ever so much. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I think you're going to join Reason Rattigan tomorrow as he come on. Or come Reason Rattigan. He'll be on tomorrow. Come Reason Rattigan. He will be on tomorrow with Dr. Ben. And you know, on Wednesday night is always a funny night for us because, you know, we always go in the chat room and chat some stuff, you know, to make people laugh and so forth. But it's a very serious topic tomorrow, very serious thing. And I want to say thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart for continuing to make the Make We Talk program the success it is. It's all because of you. You could be elsewhere doing something else. You could be elsewhere watching something else. But you decide to come over here. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for making the Make We Talk program what it is. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the strength and vigor of my body. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may under God increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. Have a great night, everyone. God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Good night. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.